Hello everyone and welcome back to Newmarket 15, where I'll be giving you my predictions on what is a big day of horse racing for tomorrow, with the July Cup being the feature race of the day. You've also got the Irish Oaks as well over in Ireland, which is another big race. So all in all, it's quite a big day's racing tomorrow. But if you're brand new to the channel, what I am is I'm hoping to be a horse racing journalist in the near future, going back to university in September to study a Masters in Sports Broadcasting Journalism. And this is what the purpose and what happened behind the creation of this channel is, because I obviously want to work in the horse racing industry as a journalist one day. I absolutely love horse racing. It's my passion, and I just love predicting races every day if we don't always get it right. We've been not too bad recently. Today's selections at Newmarket ran not too badly, a lot better than yesterday. Okay, you can argue that we didn't have loads of winners on the card. We went through all 8 races on the card today for our day 2 special, but it wasn't to be for us today, having winners everywhere. But we had one winner being there, which was not a bad race. It only just managed to pull it out of the bag to win the race, but it won the race and the winner's a winner at the end of the day. But I was quite pleased with a couple of our longer shot horses. We backed Maxime in the first race at Newmarket on the card. Was probably never going to win that race. I think Par Fate won that race, but did well to finish to run on into second place at a good price. We managed to get that one at 9-1. Anti-post earlier on. Then we also had Atkinson Grimshaw that ran a nice race in third place, proving it to some of its more probably experienced rivals on paper, or at least those with probably better claims than Atkinson Grimshaw. But I always thought he looked to possibly a dangerous horse, especially off the weight he was carrying today. Then our Nap Arabian Hope, okay, you had to finish in the first 2 to get the each way place claim there, but it ran okay in third place, ran on quite nicely, and I'm not going to criticise Josephine Gordon for it. I just thought he was a little bit unlucky not getting a clearer run earlier on, because he got transferred towards the rail, and that was a guide for him really towards the end, the last furlong or so, and he was running on really well, chasing his main competitors, but he just didn't have enough to peg it back. I definitely think today was a bit more of a punter's day. If you looked at Newmarket yesterday on the July Festival, it was more of a bookmaker's day, and a lot of the favourites didn't really turn up, but they were definitely back in business a lot of the time today. Aidan O'Brien had a few good winners, especially with Clemmy, Roly Poly, so he was back amongst the winners today at the festivals, and he could have another good day tomorrow. And stay tuned for our nap in the July Cup with an Aidan O'Brien horse later on in this vlog. But our first selection tomorrow will be on an each way Lucky 15. That's the format we normally bet in. If you're brand new to us on the channel, we always do it each way, because I feel like you get better value for your money, and it's always unlucky if you just back a horse and it finishes second. And sometimes we like to chuck in a few long shots for our selections, and that's what we're doing tomorrow actually. In our first selection, we are going for a long shot in the 4 o'clock at Newmarket, in which looks like a nice competitive race. You've got the Aidan O'Brien horse, Gustav Klimt, is the favourite at the moment. He seems to be naming a lot of his horses after artists at the moment. Don't know why he particularly likes those names, but he decides to go on themes. He's got Churchill and Clemmy, which are obviously related. He likes to go, I think, every now and again when he has a new crop of horses, like have a theme to what he's going to call them. So he's probably gone with artists with this bunch, Gustav Klimt, Caravaggio as well. So it'd be interesting to see if any more artists come out. I can't think of one off the top of my head that's an artist, but not waste our time going on about artists and Aidan O'Brien's horses for his names. But I thought the horse that really caught my eye in this competitive race tomorrow is a horse called Bullington Bandit. Now you might be going, why the hell am I going for such an outsider, currently 33-1 with bookmakers at the moment? Well, it's because last time out it ran quite nicely and won on its debut, being a massive outsider, 80-1, trained by Jane Chapel-Hyam, who's been in fairly good form of late. Had 2 winners out of 4 runs in the last fortnight, especially the winner the other day that I backed on a private bet. So that stable is in good form, and she always gets her horses ready to go, Jane Chapel-Hyam. Josie Gordon takes the ride again, who's been riding very well this season back on the turf. And this horse, his form has not got bad claims. The horse that we backed earlier, being there for today's running, actually has followed up with a win today. And there's been a couple of other horses in that maiden that have come out and won since then. The horse being there was the one that just lost, but kind of ran on well. It's kind of like a duel between Bullington Bandit and being there on their first ever race. But both of them had nice turn of foot, and I thought Bullington Bandit at an outside price could maybe bring a surprise again. I just don't think maybe people were taking that one maybe quite as seriously as people could expect. But I thought at a price that could be definitely one to make the frame tomorrow, and that's going to be our first selection and our long shot for the vlog. Also, if you're new to the vlog and you haven't noticed in our recent videos, we are now predicting a long shot on an app every video. I know some of you were commenting in the boxes below that I didn't do enough long shots, so I thought it'd be interesting just to give what I think as an outsider perspective might run well. That's going to be my long shot for tomorrow. Our second selection then sees us go to a listed race at York in the 4:15 with a horse we've backed here before on the channel called Kyllang Rock. Trained by James Tate, and it's got Gerald Mosse from France coming over to ride that one tomorrow. 14-1 bookmakers at the moment, and I thought that was a really long price. We did back him last weekend to run, but he was pulled out and was an on-runner. Don't know if he was being saved for this race, but anyway, he runs hopefully again tomorrow. I thought he was a very good price. We backed him here on the channel even before he was a non-runner, where he finished second in a listed race, and prior to that as well, he had finished second in another listed race. So he's been running well in listed races, and I thought tomorrow at a price he could be definitely another one to make the frame. They add the cheek pieces for the first time tomorrow. Hopefully that can have a good positive effect on him, and I thought 14-1, I thought that was definitely overpriced for the form that it will bring into this race. You could argue that this listed race is a little bit tougher in competitiveness compared to some of the other races it's run, but you've got to definitely feature well in those races to bring any form or show at least some credibility, and at least he tends to run well in his races, and hopefully he will do that for us tomorrow as our second selection. Our third selection then sees us go to the July Cup, the big race of the weekend at Newmarket in the 4:35, and this is going to be my nap for tomorrow. And you're probably going to be going, oh, you're just going on the favourite route, but I generally think this horse, Caravaggio, is my nap for tomorrow, is definitely the superstar at horse racing in the moment. Probably you could maybe compare it with Ribchester, but on at least the flat circuits in the UK, I think that Caravaggio is definitely one of the best horses around, if not the best horse. He's got a couple of good opponents, don't get me wrong. He's got Harry Angel, Tin Man. He's also got a horse called Lamato, which won this race last year, that he'll be battling against tomorrow. But Caravaggio, the way that he demonstrated himself at Royal Ascot to pull back the lead that he was against from Blue Point and Harry Angel was very, very impressive, the turn of foot. He didn't always get it. It didn't look like he was going to get really up there towards the end of the race halfway through, because he had a little bit, I think he wasn't settling properly, but I was just really impressed of what that problem was that he overcame, and he just showed a great turn of foot. Aidan O'Brien said he is the best sprinter that he's ever had on his hands, and that's got to be a positive with the amount of winners Aidan O'Brien has trained. And I thought Caravaggio 11-10, not shorter than evens, that's 11-10 on. I thought, yeah, you might go it short, but I definitely think it could go off shorter. I think Tin Man does bring some fair credibility, and probably would be the one, if I had to go against Caravaggio, I would probably just edge out for, because he's very resolute, but I'm just not sure. Sometimes he can maybe have the odd bad run, but he ran very nicely at Ascot, and his two biggest wins in his career have come at Ascot, and I just question maybe if he likes the course. Also, Harry Angel as well has been up and coming, but you got to say that if Caravaggio maybe had a little bit of a, I'm not going to say he had an off day at Royal Ascot when he won and came back to win very nicely in the turn of foot that he showed, but I just think if he had a bit of a better race, he could even take more out of Harry Angel. But they're both open to improvement, and they'll probably prove me wrong. Harry Angel, someone like that, probably come and win the race very nicely. Caravaggio probably get injured halfway down the race and probably won't even feature tomorrow, and that's another waste of a nap. But that's going to be my nap to tomorrow. Caravaggio, probably be lots of punters going into that one, and the bookies could definitely take a hard one there if lots of people back it and he comes in tomorrow. So Caravaggio, for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, 11 to 10 is going to be our third selection tomorrow. We then go on to Ascot in a nice race there in the 5 o'clock, and a horse that we backed again last weekend, which became an on-runner, was actually the same video we backed Kyllang Rock at, but Special Relation I thought was quite an interesting horse. He's 8 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Hughie Morrison, who tends to do well at these longer kind of trips. Charlie Bennett on board, taking £3 off. That's not a bad jockey booking for a conditional jockey. This horse won very well last time, improved very nicely up in trip at Pontefract, and not a bad win. I think the form's not too bad as well. I think 1 or 2 good performances have come out of that race, so that kind of holds up there. And I thought tomorrow he was very well handicapped. I think he's off a mark of 81 tomorrow. He meets a few good rivals. He meets Cape Coast, which won for us on our full house of winners the other day. But he's going to be conceding a £6 penalty, and I just wonder if he can go out and perform as well, fresh like he did the other day. So I thought that at a price, Special Relation 8 to 1 could be a good bet. Hughie Morrison as well tends to do well at Ascot. He's not got a bad record there in these kind of races, and I thought he was very interesting at a price. But anyway, if you've had a good day today at Newmarket, or you've bet anywhere else, please let us know in the comments box below. Also, please subscribe and like us for more horse racing daily content, so you can help me achieve my overall dream of becoming a horse racing journalist. Like I have mentioned before, got big plans for this channel in the future, so please subscribe and like our videos. Also as well, you can follow us on Twitter for updates through the day. To be honest, I mainly promote my video on there every day, but I am hopefully going to look to be doing a little bit more tweeting about other horse racing related content, so please follow us on there if you don't already on Twitter. You can also like us on Facebook. Also as well, you don't have to take my selections literally, you don't have to bet on them. That's just what I think at prices and what I think potentially might run well tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to say about that. So yeah, gamble responsibly, have fun. Hopefully tomorrow will be another good day's horse racing, and we'll be seeing you soon.